Bam. I'm here with the tag. If you hear anything over that way, it's air conditioning unit, and my wife is on Horizon Zero Dawn. This is an unfortunate book tag, and I was tagged by Oliver. His channel is Oly Bliss. Thank you, Oliver. And this was created by, what page are you on? So let's do this thing. Alright, let me get my answers. Again, I'm combining technologies. Number 1, a book you would consider a fortunate slow burn. Dying of the Light by George R.R. Martin. Dane Cobain and myself, Dane over at Dane Reads. Everybody knows Dane. We did a buddy read on this, and we had pretty much the same take on it. I think we give it like 3 stars or something, but wasn't a great George R.R. Martin novel. 2, a book with an unfortunate death. I'm going to go with the Sacketts and Tom Sunday, because he was a pretty good dude, but he had some ego problems. 3, an unfortunate setting you would not want to live in. I have no mouth, and I'm a scream where they're stuck inside a computer. They can't die, so terrible. Most settings, if there's oxygen and other people are surviving, like I said, I'm good to go. 4, a book that was unfortunately laborious to read. I gotta go back to Insomnia by Stephen King, and you can't even tell, but that's what this is. I found this book somewhere. Wasn't a big fan of it. The best book featuring a fortunate friendship. Vic and Blood by Harlan Ellison. It was actually made into a movie with Don Johnson, believe it or not. But the relationship between Vic and Blood is awesome, and the dog's telepathic, and him and the boy can communicate, and it's off the hook. It's awesome. 6, a book that unfortunately no one talks about. Stephen King's Danse Macabre, which apparently is also I don't know if it was an opus, but a French composer wrote a composition. But anyway, this is about the whole aspect of the horror genre and movies, books, films, but it's like one of my favorite nonfiction books. But nobody ever talks about it as far as Stephen King fans go, or I haven't seen much of it. So, okay. 7, a book that unfortunately or fortunately transformed and or haunts you. Well, it didn't transform me, but it haunts me, and that's the Dracula Syndrome, which is about serial killers, and I have that side of me that's fascinated by serial killers. 8, an unfortunately overhyped book. I'm going to go with Joseph Heller's Catch-22. Although I enjoyed it, like other classics like The Grapes of Wrath, I was expecting way too much. And yeah, it's a good book, but it didn't blow me away. UK 9. A book taking place in the unfortunate future. Well, let's go back to Vic and Blood. Dystopian. Number 10, a book that gets, unfortunately, plot heavy towards the end. I don't know if other people had the same problem with Rose Madder, but it's one of those Stephen King books I could have done without. Did not care for it. We switch this over here. 11. A book with unfortunate themes of mental health. See if I can dig this out of here without and that is Sybil, which you can barely see. And let me put this down a minute. But this girl here had, well, I'll tell you when this was published. I watched a TV, I want to say it was a made for movie, or made for TV movie, hang on a minute. And I think Sally Field played Sybil, and it was somebody with like 12 different personalities. And it was published in '73, so. But it was very, very disturbing, and how she developed these personalities, and how her mother or stepmother tortured her. It's like one of the most messed up things I've ever seen. Okay, moving on. 12. A book with an unfortunate or fortunate family. Unfortunate. Come on, where are you at? Urban Gothic. We're talking about extreme inbreeding. Not quite as bad as The Bad Place. Well, yeah, it's absolutely probably worse than The Bad Place by Dean Koontz. 13. A book you unfortunately wish you could fortunately read for the first time again. The Stand. The original, the cut version. You know, it was one of the first Stephen King books that I ever read, and it was just great storytelling, great character development. The plot was awesome, and it's like my favorite Stephen King book, and it was written in, well, it was published in '78, and I bought the uncut version later on at a bookstore in Port Huron, Michigan when I was living up there, and yeah, it was fine, but it just didn't have the same magic. So that's the tag. Thank you, Oliver, for tagging me. Thank everyone for watching. I gotta go. I gotta drink some more beer. It's hot in here, so bye.